General relativity is a static framework for the universe, but now we have many observations that prove the universe is anything but static, which means we need to put space in motion. Logically, we could just exchange curved space with accelerated space, because Albert himself said curvature and acceleration are equivalent. Thus, the outward acceleration of space gives us a simple mechanism not only for gravitation, but also for time dilation, in a gravitational field accordance with the square cube law. This also explains why the energy density of matter is directly related to the strength of gravity, since restricting the expansion of space then causes an acceleration of space, just like in fluid dynamics. You may be confused as to why expansion of space away from the Earth would cause a rocket to receive acceleration towards the Earth, but this is exactly how Newton's laws of motion work in respect to space. Think about a rocket in deep space without anything nearby. You wouldn't know if the rocket was moving or in what direction. But if we have a grid that represents space, then you will see that the rocket's momentum is in the direct opposite direction to its relative motion to space. It doesn't even matter which direction the rocket's pointed either. Only when the rocket accelerates relative to space does its direction of motion change. This holds true even when we accelerate space instead of the rocket. It's this fluid-like behavior which gives rise to three distinct behaviors of space. First, we have the accelerated space, which I've just described as a gravitational field. Second would be smooth space, which is found between galaxies, unaccelerated by matter. Then there would be a third type of space, I refer to as lumpy space, which is space that originates from a gravitational field, and it is expanding slower than a gravitational field, but not quite as slow as the smooth space in between galaxies. This, as you may have guessed, is what we currently call dark matter, which explains why we haven't discovered it, because it's not matter at all, it's space. This is why observations like the bullet cluster shows us that dark matter passes right through each other like waves in an ocean, because they are lumpy waves in space. This shows the axioms of relativity are incorrect assumptions that lead to a misunderstanding of how this stage of the universe behaves, leading to unnecessary confusion about quantum mechanics. Albert only needed the axioms because he believed the universe was a static, three-dimensional universe with one dimension of time. But actually, the universe is a four-dimensional universe where we are the ones in motion and the photon is not. Because the photon is a point particle, they exist only one dimension at a time, and since they are emitted into the fourth dimension while we're moving in the opposite direction, that causes the photon to be stationary in the fourth dimension. And because special relativity shows us that the fourth dimension is spherically distorted, it explains Albert's bubble paradox. This means the surface of the bubble represents one point in the temporal dimension distorted. From our perspective, the two photons appear to be in waveform at great distance from each other. From the photon's perspectives, in the undistorted fourth dimension, they are right next to each other, and the collapse of the waveform is just the photon shifting from the distorted fourth dimension to an undistorted dimension by the motion we have through that dimension. Thanks for watching. If you are interested in these ideas, you can find more of them in my book, Temporal Quantum Relativity, links in the description.